Hello everyone. I am going to attempt to fix a previous video. I run with pretty basic gear, and sometimes the information I'm trying to put out doesn't go through as well as I would like, or it takes too long and I simply don't realize how bad it is until later, looking back on it. So we'll try and fix my mistake and give you some information that you need. As you can see here, we are at the Escape from Tarkov Wiki. Why is this important? And it is very important to everyone who plays. Number one, before you even start, you'll want to go over the basics, the factions, the gameplay modes, how to play guide. Most important of all are the maps of Tarkov. I mean, right here we have interchange, customs, woods, factory, reserve, lighthouse, and shoreline, all available to play on. Terminal, suburbs, streets will be available later. Labs you need a key card for, a lot of luck, and a love of getting shot by cheaters. They aren't always on labs, but from what I've seen just from the videos others have put out, labs is not a fun time unless you are an extremely skilled player, which I'm not. And I don't want to forget town, that will also be available later. When you first start out, your missions will primarily concern customs and woods. As you advance, factory will open up. Interchange is a good place to find a lot of the items you need to boost your hideout. And that's important, because the more you boost your hideout, the less time it takes for things like your scav to your player scav to enter back into the game. How fast you heal, if you don't want to waste your healing, or you simply don't have enough money, your character, your PMC, will heal at a slow rate. And so the more you boost your base, the faster that healing will take place. But anyway, as I was saying, maps are important. Customs. First map most people usually start off on. It is very important to start offline just to get a feel for it. Figure out where things are. Having a couple of maps downloaded or printed out is even better, because you have things like all these are extraction points. Scavs can use some. PMCs can use some. Some are available to all, depending on the situation. Some are only open some of the time. Some require a certain amount of cash and first come, first serve, basically. For the smuggler's boat, if the campfire is lit, first come, first serve, in and out for PMCs. For ZB-13, you have to have a key to open the door to get to the extraction. You have to be able to activate the lever in Warehouse 4. Run all the way to the ruins. Use a factory key to open the door in the ruins and get out. There's a couple of YouTube videos that show you which ruin to get to. But, this is important information. I have all this printed out. Even though I have played on customs through 4 wipes so far, I still forget. It is easy. I mean, look at all of these extracts. I mix up 11 and 13 all the time. I couldn't tell you where 12 is to save my life. I forget where it is all the time. But I have a map, and I have this to inform me, hey, this is where it is, this is what's going on. And then when you have maps, that'll tell you where to go, how to get there, all sorts of information. And not all of them are the same. Some you may appreciate more than others. Check them out. Take a look. Come onto the wiki. Go, hey, let's look at the maps. Let's see where we're at. This one I particularly like because it shows where all the hidden caches are. And so you can go around the edge of the map or through the center. I don't recommend through the center because, darn it, I keep getting picked off. But you can do that if you want. And while you're doing that, hit up a couple of these. I usually find if I hit 2 or 3 that actually have gear in it, I'm loaded down. I don't need to hit anything else. In and out like a duck farting. I mean, to each their own, though. You may have different priorities. You may have, different ideas as to what's important. These are the dorm levels. There's the 3-level dorm, and the 2-level dorm. They're both together up here with the car extract, which doesn't say car extract, it says dorms extract, which is very strange to my way of thinking because it's the only car on the map that you can use to escape Tarkov, or at least customs. You would think they'd label it car, but nope, they label it dorms. It costs a certain number of rubles, I think 4,000, but it can change depending on your fence reputation. And if you're the first one there, you can get out, maybe. A lot of the time, people who use this have to stick nearby because there's a 60-second countdown, which gives people enough time to shoot you after you pay the money. It's annoying, but that happens. But anyway, these are the maps. This is information on the extracts. That alone will not help you if you don't actually go into the game. I go offline, and you run around searching for, where's this checkpoint at? I mean, you know what it looks like. But knowing what it looks like and actually going there and seeing it are two different things. Don't make the mistake of assuming that, I've seen it on, a picture, I'll know what it looks like. It's very different when you're actually in the game, worrying about getting headshot, wondering if you have enough loot, wondering if you, just the average things. Your brain plays tricks on you. So I highly suggest you come here, you check out the wiki, check out the maps. Also a thing to check out is gear. Let's see here. What would be the best way to... Okay. Weapons. Here we go. Now let's say you have... you pick up a weapon. An ADAR. There we go. That's a nice one. If you join USEC to start off with, you will be given an ADAR to start off with. So then you can come down here and you can go, okay, it's a 5.56 by 45 carbine, typical Western weapon, similar to the AR-15. You can come down here and it'll tell you, hey, if you have any of these mods, you can swap it out with the ones you have on the ADAR. You can do a pistol grip, you can change the receiver, you can change the stock, magazine, charge handle. All these things are available to change. And you may go, well, I've got, well, here, let's say, let's say you got a 30-round 5.56 magazine, but you've never seen this particular kind, and you go, hey, what is it? So you look it up, and you go, oh, okay. Let's see here, 30-round Magpul, 5.56, and, well, that's odd. Usually it'll tell you what rifle it goes with. because not all 5.56 use this particular magazine. Let's see. Magazine, 8R. Okay, maybe it's because I went through 8R. Okay, here. Tricon, ACOG. Okay, so let's say you find one of these ACOGs and you go, well, what can I use it on? Compatibility. Need a compact mount adapter for sights, or a Trijon TA51 sight mount, an AR-15 rear sight carry handle. All these things you can use that's compatible with this particular scope. Or you can use a mount, Trijon RMR mount for ACOG. And this will tell you that, hey, guess what? It'll work with these 3 different scopes. And for a reflex sight. But anyway, my point is, you can go around, if you find something, enter it in, it'll tell you, hey, this is compatible with this. You can use it here. You can also do something like that when you're playing the game. So, let me bring up Tarkov. So, here we go. We have a sight. There we go. The PK120 holographic sight. You can tap over here. It'll say, hey, this is what you have. The Sega is equipped. The AK-74N is in stash. When it says in stash, it means that it's visible. Like the MP7A2, the 4th one down. If you look at the bottom of the screen on the right-hand side, you'll see an MP7A2 in tan, I believe that is. It's in the stash. Whereas the stuff in equipment, like the UMP-45, is in a backpack. It won't say which backpack, but you know that, oh, in my equipment somewhere, there's an SKS, there's an AK-74, there's an AKM. It lets you know what, hey, this is going to be out in the open, you're going to see it in your stash, or you're going to have to look for it. Or you might have it equipped on you like the Sega on the left. And this holographic sight will go on any of them, providing they have the right rail. Now, one of the interesting things is sometimes it will go with a rifle, but you need an adapter or a mount in order for it to go on immediately. So you may, okay, let's grab this sight, let's try and put it on the SKS, and the SKS goes, nope, it's not compatible. You can go back to where we were before on the wiki, and it'll say, hey, guess what? You need, this mount or that mount in order to mount it on. So, the wiki is useful, not just for things like how to play, but the maps are important, how to use your skills, what they're used for, ballistics. Ballistics are incredibly important. When you're using a gun, the gun is important in order for you to fire off rounds. Is it in good repair? Is it going to jam? All those things are important. But also important is, oh, look, we have shotgun rounds, 12x70. This is one of the most used rounds for shotguns. The 20x70 is also used, not as much because the only gun I believe that uses it is a bolt action piece of garbage that I really, really hate. And then you have the 23x75, which is trying to remember the name of the rifle. I've only used it once, but 23x75, it is devastating with certain amounts of damage. But you have here like this. This will hit and penetrate level armor 6. this is a good round. This is a good round to use if you have the right rifle for it. But it's not going to work in a 12 gauge shotgun. So you got to look over here and you got to go, oh, well, what do we got? Well, we've got flechettes, which are good on armor. We've got grizzly, copper sabot, lead slug. All this stuff is good against armor. And then you have things like the high performance slug and the rip. They stink on armor. But if you hit somebody in the legs, they're going to do an incredible amount of damage. So, it depends on what you need. But the important thing is, if you look at this and you go, hey, I found, 120 rounds of grizzly, how can I use it? What can I use it for? What's the best use of this particular slug? This can give you some idea. And you can go, oh, okay, this is good on armor. I can use this. But it's a slug, which means you have to be precise, which means it would be useful to have an optic or maybe a laser on your shotgun so that you can, have better slug placement. Because you don't want to miss when using a slug. Now, when using something like a flechette, oh, look at this. I've got 8 flechette, each dart doing 25 points of damage. Now, I'm not going to hit with every single shot unless I'm at point blank range. So I have to maximize how I use this to do damage. For this, with the flechette, I'd probably aim for head. If I can hit somebody in the head a couple of times with those, it's going to be over. But, it just depends. And there are other things in here that you'll want to take a look at. Looting, quests, the scav bosses. Oh my god, are they mean. Be very careful with scav bosses and their lieutenants. That is just a world of hurt waiting. How to trade, weapon mastery, what to do with weapon malfunctions. All this is information that you need. And yes, it is not always exciting to go through and try and figure out, how to play the game. I'm just glad this is all here because when I have a question, I come here, I look, I find out the information I need, or if it's like a particular mission, I can go on YouTube and I can type in the mission name and who's giving the mission. Like if Peacekeeper has a mission, I can go, Peacekeeper, here's the name of the mission. And somebody will have shot a video of it. And it will help you succeed in the mission if you're having trouble. I highly suggest you play the game, you play the missions first, you try and succeed on your own, and then if you can't, if you're having trouble, watch a video. Try it on your own first, though. That's always fun, because sometimes you'll figure it out and you go, oh, this is what I needed to do. Great. And there is an extra feeling of accomplishment there. But anyway, this is part 1 of my information series. I wanted to cover the wiki for Escape from Tarkov and give you some information and hope that it will help you out. Because this is important. This is a game I love. And the more people who I can get to appreciate this game, maybe the more people will play it and Battlestate Games will succeed as a company. Anyway, thank you very much for your time. Good luck out there, folks.